2023 State of Origin bolters. There's a history of bolters. I mean, Ben Ikin in Queensland was a State of Origin bolter. There were plenty back in the day. You've got a favourite.
I don't know what you're talking about, Tom.
Jamie Burrell was a bolter.
Yeah, absolutely.
Remember that?
What year was that? That was 2014?
Oh, I reckon a little bit earlier. Ricky Stewart was the coach, wasn't he, at the time?
He was. Aaron Raper was also a bolter.
They didn't get on. He sat on the bench down at the MCG.
Okay. Well, of late, obviously, most of the team doesn't select itself, but we know who and who isn't in the frame. So, look, we can go beyond that. There are various positions in both New South Wales and Queensland. There is plenty of debate still to be had. All right, let's not start with an absolute bolter, because I think as his name has been in the frame, continue to convince me, Wade Graham, why Nicho Hynes should be in that jersey.
Yeah, well, obviously he's my teammate, and, I'm a little bit biased because I, know how well he's playing for us and how much he does for us. And Jerome's been a great player, had success with that Penrith team, that Penrith combination with Nathan and obviously Isaiah Yeo. So I get the combination. But like every now and again, you talk about players knocking on the door, mate, he's banging it down. Like, there's not much else that he can do. Like, he's the best playmaker in the NRL right now. Like, you watch him week to week, hands down, he's up there with Karen Munster, Reece Walsh at the back. Just the impact he's having on games, it's just undeniable. So I couldn't push his case anymore. He plays on both sides of the field. He's not on the right side, he's on the left side. He plays where he needs to be. He plays on the ball. He's constantly threatening the defensive line. He's looking for weaknesses. And in that Origin arena, that's what you need. You need playmakers, mate. The game's hard. It's full of, 26 blokes going at it, hammer and tongs. And you need players who want to go after the ball and go after the moment. And that's Nicho.
We only see the performance on the field. We only see the 80 minutes, the brilliance that he's coming up with. So, but what's he like as a half? Is he in the huddle, telling everyone before a game? Is he pointing? Has he got a whiteboard telling boys this is what we're going to do? Is he a general, or is he a communicator? What's he like as the leading half at the club?
No, he's good. He's confident, right? He's confident. He communicates well and clear. He lets everyone know what he wants out of them, and he's in the office every day, mate. He's in there sitting with not too much with Fitzy, because Fitzy's the D coach, but he's in there with Josh Henne and DJ Holdsworth, who run our attack, and he's in there constantly asking questions and just bouncing ideas off them, trying to improve his game and trying to improve the team by the way he performs and the way he prepares. And I've spoken to Gerds a number of times actually on it, publicly about it. He just wants it. Like, he wants it and he owns it. He gets after it. He comes in, he works hard. And like I said, like, you always hear the question, oh, yeah, he's knocking on the door. Nicho's not knocking on the door, mate. He's banging it down. Like, he has to, like, in my opinion, he has to be there.
Gerds?
Well, I think it's either 6 or nothing, because I just think the value in having someone like that on the bench isn't there at this point. So, yeah, I would have him there. I think if Jerome's playing well and he's had a good couple of years at Origin. We lost last year's series, and form players need to be rewarded. Incumbency is important, especially if you win, but Nicho's form has been undeniable to the start of the season, and if you think about the halves that are currently going to be playing Origin, Cleary has big moments every weekend. So does Cherry Evans. He owns the big moments, and so does Cam Munster. Cam Munster single-handedly dragged his team past the Warriors last week on Anzac Day. Like, it might have only been 3 or 4 instances, but he just found a way. And Nicho does that. And New South Wales needs someone. It can't all be on Nathan, and Jerome's a great foil, but I think at Origin you need more than a foil. And Nicho's that guy that can just get the job done when you need to at club level. He's unproven at that level. We get that. But anyone that's worried about that sort of combination of, what's it going to be like bringing Nicho in for Nathan? Well, there might be a few moments during the lead up where they need to work each other out, but they are both that good that they will just seamlessly, I believe, go into the game and feel totally comfortable with one another, knowing that they're just going to do their job, and they're the people that you need.
All right, Dave Riccio, got a bolter for us?
From a Blues point of view, I just spoke about it with Craig Fitzgibbon, and I've watched Blake Brayley, his development over the past 4 seasons at Cronulla, and this is a dummy half that has played with some of the most influential representative players we've seen down at the Sharks. Wade's one of them, Paul Gallen, Dale Finucane, Andrew Fafita. Blake Brayley knows what rep players need. And I've seen his development as a player. I love the fine art that he plays with. He's able to hold up markers. He can pull a penalty by attracting the markers in. I've loved the development of his running game over the past 5 weeks. I think his past month of footy has been Blake Brayley's best month of footy of his career. And he's running more than ever. He's also got a kick, which we don't see as much, because Nico's running the show a bit, but I wouldn't mind seeing that develop as well. And he's as tough as teak. Oh, my good. Like, he's plays 80 minutes in the middle and tackles his heart out. He's been through the Blues pathway system for a while. Under 20s dummy half, a junior kangaroo. He has been on the Blues radar for some time, and for the past maybe 18 months, it's been Reece Robson that's been that next in line behind Damien Cook and Api Coruscant. Well, I would say Blake Brayley deserves to be in that debate as far as going above Reece Robson. And if Api Coruscant, because of the Tigers' form, is overlooked, Blake Brayley as a 1-2 punch with Damien Cook would be pretty dangerous.
All right. What about you, Gerds? Have you got a bolter at all?
For New South Wales or for Queensland?
Yeah. Open slather.
Well, I think, for Queensland, I thought that Thomas Gilbert's had a pretty good start to the season. I know he might have played last year. He might have got a couple of starts, but I know that they've obviously got Kafusi, Catewell, Nanai, Carrigan, Cotter. So there's not a lot of room there. But, yeah, if I was Queensland, I think his form for the Dolphins has been exceptional, and I think he's just an origin player. So he'd be a guy that I'd be getting in there somehow.
All right, these are obviously names that aren't bolters, but Kalen Ponga, he was back in the front line for Newcastle, missed quite a few tackles, said himself that he wasn't happy with his game at all and he's got to go and work on it and improve. Is he still just automatic pick from Billy Slater? Reece Walsh didn't have his greatest game last night either, but his performances so far this season have been exceptional.
Yeah, well, I think you don't have to look too far past last year when Kalen was fullback for Queensland. He was, probably one of the best players in the whole series. So I know he's missed, a bit of footy this year with his concussion issues. And, on the weekend, he said he wasn't happy with his game, but he's, lacking a bit of timing and lacking a bit of conditioning because of the time he's missed out. So I think it's a good, headache for Billy to have, Reece Walsh playing up there well at Brisbane, Kalen on the way back, who's proven at that level. And someone that we haven't probably spoke too much about is the Hammer at the Dolphins.
Yes.
His form's almost undeniable as well. Where you need to almost get him in a team? Is it a centre? Is it on the wing? Is it we need to sort of get this guy in because we talk about moments. He doesn't miss too many, Hammer, when he's in the clear or when that ball bounces. He's sort of in and around the picture and he can change a game on a term. So it's a good headache for Billy to have. He's, there's 3 pretty good options there. I think probably lean towards Kalen just because of what he did last year. Pending the next month, he gets through the next month of footy healthy and gets his time back and gets his legs back under him. But yeah, I'd probably lean towards Kalen.
I'd lean towards Kalen. A bolter for me for Queensland is Jermaine Hopgood from Parramatta. I just loved what he's brought to this pack and largely been their best and most consistent forward has been Hopgood. And I can tell you he was actually on Billy Slater's radar last year when he was sitting in reserve grade. Like he was going that good, and such is the way Billy does his homework and he's willing to pick a player from anywhere. For Queensland, Hopgood was on his radar. I think he's only gone to another level now for Parramatta. If he has a big month now, I think he'll be almost undeniable to pick.